Hi guys, how's it going? I hope everyone's doing well. Day or night, whenever you tune in and see this. So this is going to be a general reading for fire sign Aries and also earth sign Taurus. So we're going to start with Aries in just a moment, and then we'll shuffle after that and clear the energy and move on to Taurus. After the live, I will be posting timestamps as well for some people who just want one or the other. All right, so I also will be including in the timestamps, before shuffling and after shuffling, in case some people want to see that or don't want to see that, all that good stuff. All right. What else? So everyone is welcome to this reading, right? Whether you are a fire sign, Aries sun sign, you have Aries rising, or you have your moon in Aries, or you have Aries somewhere else in your chart. If you've seen me before, then you kind of already know that I always talk about how we all have all 12 zodiac signs in each individual of our birth charts. Okay, so you do have Aries somewhere in your chart, so hopefully there is a message here for you. And if not, that is okay too. Again, always check your other placements, right? So again, your sun, moon, and rising, and for matters of love and assets and money, you can always check out your Venus sign in addition to this reading. So the one website I always recommend, I think it's cafeastrology.com. You can get a free birth chart there. Whether or not you have your birth time, you can still find out your other placements. All right, so with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into your reading here, Aries. I already took your photo, which I will be posting at the end of this live. There's just one photo of all the cards that you can look at later if you want to see them more up close in detail. So all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the instructions there on how to see the photo if that's something that you're into. But yeah, other than that, I think we covered everything. Also, the readings are timeless, right? So for some people, it can resonate for the original time frame of September 29th through October 29th, or for some people, it can be a little bit before, a little bit after. All right, so let's go ahead and do the sound bell and get into your reading here, Aries. All right. Okay, and for some people, if you're listening with headphones or you're sensitive, it does get loud for a little bit, so just be aware. All right, but we're just going to ground ourselves in the energy and kind of tune in to the reading. All right, here we go. Alrighty. So we'll just put this over here for a moment, or for the rest of the reading. But yeah, let's see what we have for you, Aries. We're going to do your usual, 4-week time period that we're talking about. We're using 2 different decks, right? And we're also going to do your oracle card at the very end. And then I have a couple letter charms for you for this set of readings for all the zodiac signs. I've been doing like 6 alphabet letter charms. So we'll get to that at the very end. But yeah, let's go ahead and call out your cards here, Aries. Now, you did have one additional card the Spirit really wanted, so I went ahead and took it. So normally, again, we're talking about that 4-week time period. So normally there would only be 4 cards at the top. They wanted that additional one. So we'll just kind of have to guesstimate, and we're guesstimating anyways, right, on when these things may play out. Okay, so let's go ahead and call out your cards and then talk about the time periods for some of them, if that resonates for some people. Okay. All right. So Aries, you have the Eight of Staves, also known as Eight of Wands, in the right side up position. You have the Four of Swords in the right side up position. You have the Six of Sacred Circles or Six of Pentacles right side up. You have the Five of Cups in the right side up position. And you have that additional one, which is the Princess of Swords in the right side up position. So we'll talk about the other cards where Spirit wanted me to talk to you about them. But let's go ahead and talk about those potential dates, right? So for the first card, first week, okay, we were saying it could be from around September 29th through October 8th. The second card, second week, could be from around October 9th through October 15th. The third card could be from around October 16th through October 22nd. And the fourth card could be from around October 23rd through October 29th. Since we have an additional card, we could say that it is possibly that first week or so of November, right? So maybe from October 30th through, I don't know, November 7th or 8th. Okay. But again, these are just kind of general guidelines of when these things may go down, since it is a general reading meant for multiple people. You kind of just have to apply what makes sense for you and put the other stuff aside. Okay. All right. So Aries, let's go ahead and start off with your first card for your reading, which is this Eight of Staves or Eight of Wands in the right side up position. This can be some type of surprising or shocking communication or message that comes through. Okay. It could be a good message, it could be a bad message, right? But the main thing is that it's either sets you off balance a little bit, Aries, or the other person you're dealing with, or multiple people, general environment situation. Okay, so again, it could be good or bad, right? But when we see this energy come through in this deck, we see these birds flying, and all of a sudden these wands or staves are being thrown at them. So that kind of generates that flight or fight mode. I've never seen a bird fight, but I think they do sometimes. Okay, so here they're kind of flying away, but maybe they're fighting in on another side, right? But again, they're just kind of receiving some type of shocking or surprising communication or news in some way here. And again, this could be something that you're going to give to someone, or someone's going to give to you, or it comes in general from your spirit guides, guardian angels, what have you, all those things. Okay. Now, when we do talk about staves or wands, for some people, not everybody, we could be talking about health, right? Or defenses. So since our defenses include our immune system, that's where we could be talking about health for some, but not everybody, right? And what is health, right? It could be your physical body, it could be your mental health, it could be both. So again, only take what applies for you. But it looks like this news here, Aries, though, could be whether, again, it's good or bad. Okay. It could bring up a little bit of anxiety, worry, overthinking in some way, right? So even if we have, let's say, a good communication or opportunity coming in, we could be like asking all those questions, getting ahead of ourselves, right? For some, like, how's this going to work out? Blah, 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 blah. Those kind of things. So that's why I said when we talk about your second week and your second card with the Four of Swords in the right side up position, there is a little bit of this anxiety, worry, overthinking in some way, or just not all the way mentally as clear as you want to be, or the other person wants to be, or multiple people, general environment wants to be. And there could also be a little bit of this tendency to want to hide these things or bury them. Not for everybody, but for some. But I really see this as just a small energetic blockage here, Aries, because you still have some other really good cards. So I wouldn't be like, oh no, right? But let me show you the imagery of the card here as well, right? So here we see this Japanese woman, and she's starting to bury that sword. So that's why I said for some, there could be a hesitancy, or not hesitancy, that's not the right word. It could be a tendency to want to hide something, or sweep it under the rug, or bury it in some way if there is a little bit of that anxiety, worry, overthinking, even if, again, it comes from a good communication or a good opportunity or message, okay, from that Eight of Staves in the right side up position. Okay, so that again is not to worry too much because we all have that from time to time. Excuse me. The only thing we would want to do, right, is not bury the thing or the anxiety, the worry, not sweep it under the rug, but try to identify it and maybe talk it out or work it out with friends or family, and then kind of just move forward. Okay, so it feels like most of you guys are going to be doing that in some way or another. Okay, because your third card here, your third week. And we said this could be the middle of October, right? So around October 16th through the 22nd. Okay, what we do have this Six of Sacred Circles or Six of Pentacles in the right side up position. So now we have more balance, we have more beauty themes, right? We're talking about this card is also paying it forward, okay, in some way. So because we're talking about balance and beauty themes for some, and of course, where this is during Libra season, and Venus is the ruler of Libra. Okay, that kind of makes sense here, right? So if we have the number six, the 3 and 3 on each side. Also, when we're talking about sacred circles or pentacles or paying it forward, right? It's not 10 of pentacles, which would be the highest number, and it's not 2 of pentacles, right? But it's 6. So it's like I have enough to give back a little bit in some way to someone else, whether it's giving back money, giving back knowledge or skill, okay, or just giving back your time in some way. This is energy, and it's a little bit of also the way to say it, um, letting the universe know that you are grateful for what you have, right? So you're sharing a little bit of it, and that's also telling the universe that you want more of that, right? So that's always a good vibration to be in. Again, even if it's just you're not necessarily giving money if you can't do that financially, but you're giving your time or your energy or knowledge in some way to somebody else. Okay. Now, also in this card, we do have the full moon in the background, and it's a combination energy, right? The full moon for October is October 9th, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, we have the full moon in Aries, and you are Aries. So that's definitely something, to talk about and think about in the background. Now, I have already posted the astrology notes video for this time period if you want to check that out or if you feel like it, it's there. All right. But when we're talking about that would be more between your first and second card, right? That October 9th time period. But of course, it can carry on even after that, right? So everybody feels the energies a little bit differently. But that could be because it's, again, in the background of your third card and third week. Hopefully, you can see it if I come a little bit closer here. You see it all the way back here behind the trees. Okay. So this could be something going on here, Aries. Of course, when we're talking about full moons, we're talking about heightened emotions, heightened energy in general, culmination energy, and it being in your sign. It could be that there are some additional messages coming through. It could be that in these first or 2 weeks here that you're feeling more in your own energy or element in certain ways, even though it's still Libra season. It's not your season, right, Aries? But there could be more things happening also with Aries Mars energy, right? You can always check out where Mars is in your chart, right? Even, because I said, like, some people who are watching this may not be a sun sign Aries or a rising sign Aries or moon, have their moon in Aries, right? So, I believe, let's see, to go back real quickly with the astrology stuff. So 5 planets that are in retrograde currently start to go forward in October, right, throughout the month. But Mars isn't one of them. I think Mars already went direct. When did it go direct? I can't remember now. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it's probably way further back, so I'm not going to go that far. All right. But again, there might just be like an additional message there for you. I don't want to spend too much time on it. So let's go back to where we were and go from there. Okay. So again, we're on that third card, third week, the Six of Sacred Circles or Six of Pentacles, right side up. So again, more balanced energy in the background. We could have Mars energy, but also Venus energy because it's Libra season, right? But it is really about having an equal give and take with someone and wanting to pay it forward in some way. Okay, but either way, it is an improvement, right? So to go from the Four of Swords, a little bit of an energetic blockage, to now the Six of Sacred Circles or Six of Pentacles, there's growth there, right? So it's like now back to for momentum and progress. You started off with really fast energy in the beginning of your reading here with the Eight of Staves, then with the Four of Swords, it kind of started to slow down and go like way backwards a little bit in some ways because it was an energetic blockage, okay? But then it starts to go forward again here in that third week. Now moving forward to the fourth week here, we have again a little bit of an energetic blockage. So it's almost like one step forward, one step back in some ways here. But remember, I said in the beginning of the reading, Aries, you have an additional fifth card. Okay, so even if the fourth card is a little bit of energetic blockage, your additional one that came out is then more for momentum and progress again. And of course, when these things happen for all of us throughout our lifetimes, right, you could call them an energetic blockage or a gentle reminder or challenge, but it usually happens for a reason. And if we can't appreciate, what is the saying? If we don't experience darkness or rain, we can't appreciate the sunshine, something like that, right? Okay, so let's see what we have here though. All right, so fourth card, fourth week, which could be from around October 23rd through October 29th, is that Five of Cups in the right side up position. And again, this doesn't have to be you, Aries. It could be another person you're dealing with or multiple people, general environment situation. But here we see this king in the background is kind of crying because he spilled some wine. Okay, but then one of his kids and his wife is like, hey dude, we still have more wine, right? Why are you crying? It's okay, that kind of thing. Okay, so with that Five of Cups energy, it's that somebody or some energy needs a perspective change. If they remain patient, if they slightly change their head, right? Because this king is looking down and crying again over the wine, but if he looks over his shoulder, he can see that they're like, you can have some of our wine. There's more wine, right? So this is basically saying that there are more people and circumstances that want to help you or want to help this energy. If it's not, again, necessarily you, Aries, or another person, it could be just an energy, right? So again, this is just a little bit of a slowdown period here during this time, but let's kind of see what else Spirit wants me to talk to you about this, okay? So we're going to talk to you about the top and the bottom. And these are always past energies that kind of made it possible for this Five of Cups to come up in the current energies, present possibilities, that kind of thing, okay? And recent past or past in general will be different for everybody. So it could be a couple of days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. But what we have is the Nine of Staves in the right side up position was on the top of your deck. And then on the bottom of your deck was that Princess of Cups in the right side up position. And we're talking about it, of course, with that Five of Cups, okay? So it looks like here in the past, in some way, Aries, perhaps somebody was wanting to give up, was really tired. They were almost at a place of elevation in their life in some way. They were almost at an ending and a new beginning, right? So since it's 9 and 10 is the highest, right? That would be leveling up and ending a new beginning in some area of your life or multiple areas of your life. But just being really burnt out, that kind of represents a little bit of the Nine of Staves energy as well, needing to take a rest and a break and trust that if you continue on, you know, it will be that these blessings are on the other side, or all the hard work you've put into something is right around the corner. So it's kind of saying not to give up. Okay. Now on the other side, with that Princess of Cups in the right side up position, of course, we see the full moon behind her really clearly in this card as well. So of course, you can say the full moon in tarot would be, or the moon card in general is the Pisces energy, but it's not the official card of Pisces. We don't have the moon card here, okay? But really, basically, what it's talking about is what makes me emotionally fulfilled and happy and satisfied. Again, in the past, it could be that you were so close to something. Um, that you wanted to give up, but over here with the Princess of Cups, maybe there wasn't something you were seeing all the way with that moon in the background. But the Princess of Cups also talks about doing something non-traditional. This is Morgana. She's picking her herbs at night. She's the goddess of witchcraft and herbal magic and the Celtic tradition. Okay, and so that's that non-traditional energy here. So maybe there's something that happens here, Aries, that triggers you or the other person, multiple people, general environment, situation, that makes you think that it's going to be something similar to that past energy of being burnt out, and also feeling like if you were burnt out or wanting to give up on something, that made you think you had to go the non-traditional way, or not embracing that if you wanted to go to the non-traditional way your whole life in some regard to either your work or lots of different things it could be, right? That's never going to work out. That's kind of why that Five of Cups showing up here again. But it's not true, right? So remember how I was saying again, what's needed or what does come, because you do have another great card following it, so it does come, right? Is some type of perspective change or just patience, and know that not all the wine's spilled. There's still wine. There's still people and circumstances that want to help you to fully see that ending and that new beginning that maybe didn't happen in the past in some way, and also to fully help you see, or them see, or everyone see, that you can do non-traditional paths. You can also be really clear about what you want emotionally. Again, what makes me emotionally satisfied, fulfilled, and happy, all those things. You can also see things clearly with the help of others. That's kind of like another thing here too, if you're too close to something. All right, but let's keep going because we still have some really nice stuff here for you, Aries. Now, when we get to your fifth additional bonus card, which I said could be for some people around October 30th through November 7th or 8th, something like that, right? We have that Princess of Swords in the right side up position. Okay, so this time we have Princess energy in the future, current possibilities, energies, and remember you had that Princess of Cups in the past energy. They're different minor arcanas, right? One is cups and one is swords, but they're both princesses. So what does that mean? That means that eventually they want to become a queen, or they're on the path to elevate or take on more responsibility or leadership roles, right? But they're open to learning new things. They're not necessarily set in their ways because they haven't reached that final energy yet, or that culmination energy that we say in tarot represents a king or a queen, okay? But here with this Princess of Swords, right, she's got the sun behind her, right? And so we do have, we'll talk about it in a moment here, Aries, because I forgot to do it in the beginning of your reading, so we'll do it in just a second. What other zodiac sign showed up in your reading? Okay, so just as a little foreshadowing, right, you do have some Leo energy showed up here in your reading. The reason why I say that is because the Sun card in tarot sometimes refers to Leo energy, but mainly it's talking about spiritual downloads, enlightenments, awakenings, revelations, right? And so this young princess is meditating on how to have a good mental health, balanced place in herself, but also with her emotions, okay? Because the water's behind her too, where the sun's reflecting in the water. So the water in the tarot is our emotions, okay? So her sword is not up or down, okay? It's still in its little sheath or sword holder, whatever you call it. Okay. So she's like, yes, I want those things to be balanced. How do I make that happen? She's kind of also has her hands in that prayer stance, right? So she's calling to her guardian angel, spirit guides, higher powers that be, right? On how to again bring out the positive healthier mental health viewpoints to bring to the yeah, the positive mental health viewpoints or philosophies that make spiritual downloads, revelations, understanding something fully possible, but also honoring her emotions, her heart chakra. Okay. So, like I said, even if the fourth week, that Five of Cups energy was a little bit of an energetic blockage or slow down, then by the time you get to that fifth week, so the end of October, maybe the first week of November, right, then it's definitely going to feel worth it, okay? But let's talk real quickly, too, before we get to your tarot confirmation card. What's on the top and the bottom of your other deck over here in relation to this Princess of Swords in the right side up position? Okay, so again, these are past energies, okay, that made it possible for Princess of Swords to come out. So over here, remember I said you had Leo energy, official Leo card in the past, and then you have the Two of Pentacles in the right side up position that was on the bottom of your deck, okay? So when the Strength card shows up in the past, it's like saying, yes, you were strong in the past in some way, or the other person was, or the situation or the general environment that you find yourself in, okay? So it can be harnessed again, it can be brought forth again, the Leo energy in this card showing up as well. So we know already kind of that you're going to be able to do it here, Aries, or the other person you're dealing with, okay, etc. Now over here with the Two of Pentacles in the right side up position, it looks like in the past in some way, someone or something was really juggling a lot of different responsibilities, juggling a lot of things in their life, okay? But they, again, were wanting to build their abundance, their money, their health, their love, their business, etc., all those things, right? Because the storm is behind her in this past card, but she's still juggling, okay? So again, these energies kind of made it possible for that Princess of Swords in the right side up position to show up. So if you want to, or the other person wants to, Aries, continue on this way, finding the mental clarity, knowing that we're in the 3D physical world, okay, and its value, right? This physical table, we have to pay our bills, that kind of thing, but also honoring the heart chakra, our intuition, the 5D, we could say, as an example, the spiritual world, okay? So, excuse me, having those things come together and knowing that we can juggle things, okay, and build our abundance. And also, just because we juggled in the past doesn't mean that we weren't also strong, right? Just because we had hardships in the past or things weren't exactly easy, right, doesn't mean that we weren't strong in the past and doesn't mean that we won't be strong again in the future, okay? It's quite the opposite. It's almost like that struggling, that juggling made it possible for you to be strong, or for the other person, vice versa, etc., okay? Um, but yeah, let's keep going because we have some other stuff to talk about here, Aries. All right, so now we're going to talk about your tarot confirmation card, and this one is a combination of past and future energies, okay, but it's coming in here and confirming all 5 cards, all 5 weeks that we just talked about, 4 to 5 weeks, right? All right, and so it is such a nice card because it's an amazing reversal here for you, Aries, and it's saying that if you stay on this path, again, remind yourself, know that you're strong and you have the strength to get through these things. Know again that those past struggles and juggling made it possible for you to now have the mental clarity and the heart chakra coming together is because also you're going to let go of the anxiety, worry, overthinking, or mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion from the past. Okay. So, again, a great reversal. You don't want the Ten of Swords to be right side up. It came out reversed for you here, Aries. Okay. So, again, if you stay on this path and you just remind yourself, I don't need to also operate if this was like a past for some way of operating, or the way that you were raised is in your childhood or your last relationship, your last job, whatever, right? It doesn't mean that it has to continue that way. Okay. So I kind of see it like that, if that makes sense. Okay. But let's keep going forward. We also have your oracle card and your alphabet charms. Okay. So your oracle card here, your Rebecca Campbell oracle card for this time period and even beyond, is really beautiful. And it's basically the title of the card is called a mirror. Okay. And it's actually a mirror image of this woman. She's standing by or holding some flowers. It's kind of abstract, and she's leaning over and putting her hands in the water. Okay, so then we see in the reflection the kind of opposite view of the same image. Okay, but it's basically saying who or what is triggering you. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. All right, and so if I had to, guys, I would say that I would put this with either, you had those two energetic blockages. You could put it either with the Four of Swords that we had in the second week, or the Five of Cups in the fourth week. Okay, you could do it for both, or you could do it for one or the other, right? But again, when it says triggered, and we talked about this past stuff, past philosophy or viewpoint, or the way you were raised or someone was raised, right? It's like, what is that showing you? What is that making you face and heal and process and let go of, right? Also, you can put it with the Ten of Swords in reverse position. So it's good. It can be scary, but it's good. And again, if you stay on that path and do the inner work, right, and let those things go and release, then you can get all the other stuff we already talked about. All right. Okay. So Aries, now when we come to your little letter charms here, and I took a picture again, like I always do, of all your cards and just one combination of your letter charms, but you can make them into any combinations that may resonate or make sense to you, right? So what do the letter charms mean? They can be initials, they can be acronyms, they can be the name of something that you keep seeing during this time period, or a street name. It could be lots of different things. And it may not necessarily make sense when you first watch it, but then later you watch it again, or you look at the photo again and you're like, oh, that makes sense possibly. Okay. And it's just something fun and new that I wanted to try out for these YouTube readings. Okay. So the letter charms that you got for this time period, Aries, is the first two are I and F. Okay. The second two, are H and O. If I can hold them properly. Okay, and they can be in any combination, right? And the last two are W and L. Okay. So when I first put them out, it looked like it said if and then howl, right? Like a wolf howls. Okay. So it also could be, if we take the H off and we put the F over here, it could be fowl, which is like, I think, if I'm spelling it right, a bird, right? Let me make sure. Or foul play. Let me double check. I'm not the best speller, guys. Hold on, let me see here. I think that works. Yeah, foul bird. Let's see. Yep. Fowl, so that's fowl or bird, right? What about foul play? Is that how you spell foul play? Yes, that's how you spell foul play. Okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the H back for howl because I like that. And that's the first one that came out. But okay, maybe there's foul play going on, or maybe there's something to do with the bird. Okay, and then the last thing we had as far as words is we also had owl. If I take the I, the F, and the H away, yeah, can I hold these together? My goodness. Then we have owl. Oh shoot. Okay, well we did have owl. Hold on. So remember we had the other bird reference. Oh my god. Um, so that could be something else going on as well. And why did yeah, I had it. Okay, I can't hold these charms very well unless I'm only holding two. But I think I had it holding up the wrong way. Owl. I think I had the L in the wrong spot. Okay. So what do owls represent, right? Wisdom. What do all birds represent? Going back to the fowl, seeing things from a higher perspective. Yeah. So like I said, though, if those things don't necessarily have to resonate for you, it could just be a combination of these different letters, somebody's initials, spelling, or not spelling, signifying a I keep saying Enneagram and it's not an Enneagram. A what was it? An acronym. Oh my gosh, an acronym, right? Um, I'm not the best at acronyms. I didn't see any that, I recognized. Um, Wait, hold on. I just saw one. WOH. Would that be the White House? Random. I don't. Wait, no. That's not right. Is that right? Fine. WOH. Okay. Is this not Scrabble? Why did it do that? White House? White House. Not telling me. Okay. WOH stands for World Health Organization. I knew it. Well, no, that's not WOH. That would be WHO. Interesting. Okay. But what is the other one? WOH. Does it stand for anything or am I losing my mind? Okay, I don't know why it made me think of the White House, but maybe I was thinking of the World Health Organization. I don't know. Anyway, it says it's an abbreviation for work outside the home. Okay, well, there you go. All right, so I'll leave it at that. Like I said, there's lots of different combinations you can do with the letters. But all these little guys come from, these are oak letter charms that I've got online. And oak is supposed to be one of the sacred trees, right? And so this little card I put over here earlier talks about the oak tree and what it represents, right? So power, protection, sealing and opening doors. If you think of most doors are made out of wood, right? Endurance, wisdom, where we talked about the owl, that's funny, fertility and abundance, as just a couple things that oak can represent. So anyway, that was long-winded, but that is your reading here, Aries. I hope you found something from this reading. So we're going to go ahead and clear the energy and move on to Taurus, and we're at about 39 minutes. So I'll make a mental note of that for later when I put in the timestamps. But yeah, if you liked this reading and you haven't already subscribed and you want to, it is free, right? As long as you have a YouTube email address that you've set up. So all you have to do is click on the subscribe button in the bottom right corner. And if you like this video, not only does it tell me that you liked it, but it helps the YouTube's algorithms to share it with others. So it's another great free way to support the channel. All right. So yes, let's go ahead and clear the energy and move on to Taurus. And we'll do, of course, a bunch of shuffling and do another sound bell to let go of the Aries energy and welcome in the Taurus energy. So we're going to let these cards charge for a minute with the crystals and all of that. Okay. So, yes, again, for people later who are just tuning in or people just tuning in now, right, we're about to do a general reading for Aries, and everybody is welcome. I just did it. Not Aries, for Taurus. General reading for Taurus. Okay, yes, the bull, Taurus the bull. So everyone is welcome, whether they're sun sign, rising sign, moon sign, Taurus, or you have your Venus in Taurus, or your Mars in Taurus, or your Mercury in Taurus, or whatever. But basically, we all have all 12 zodiac signs throughout each individual of our birth charts. So you got Taurus somewhere, even if it's not necessarily Taurus written out like that. It could be the houses, right, that represent in astrology the zodiac signs as well. So anyway, everybody is welcome, and we're going to talk about general themes for your reading, which could include love, work, money, health, etc., all that good stuff. And it is a timeless reading, right? So for some people, it can resonate for the original time frame of September 29th through October 29th, or it can be a little bit before, a little bit after. So yeah, I think that's everything I usually say in the beginning. So let's go ahead and do your sound bell and recenter and refocus for the Taurus reading. All right, here we go. All right, Taurus. Let's go ahead and get into your reading here. All right. So we're going to do some shuffling here real quickly, find out what Spirit wants you to know. Messages for Earth sign Taurus, the bull, for September 29th through October 29th. Messages for Taurus. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Oops, get up in there. Alrighty. Spirit's guiding my hands. Messages for Earth sign Taurus, September 29th through October 29th. What does Taurus need to see? What does Taurus need to know for their highest vibration? September 29th through October 29th. All right, that feels good. So let's see here. Spirits, guide my hands. 4 cards only, please, spirits, for Taurus, person, Taurus, the whole. For September 29th through October 29th. For September 29th through October 29th. Person, Taurus, the whole. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Just Taurus. Oops, that was, well, 3 cards already, but we'll see. We'll confirm with them if they want all of those. Okay, 1 more card, please. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Taurus, person, Taurus, for September 29th through October 29th. All right, let's see if they want these and how they want them before we continue. Spirits, after spirits, the high priestess in the right side of position represent the first tarot card. Taurus reading. Spirits, vice versa. Spirits, the king of cups in the right side of position represent the second tarot card for this Taurus reading. Okay, and spirits in loving light. Listening, spirits, the two stays in the reverse position represent the third tarot card for this Taurus reading. Okay. Spirits, the two stays in the right side of position represent the third tarot card for this Taurus reading. Okay. And spirits, the light, do you want the sun in the reverse position represent the fourth tarot card for this Taurus reading? Spirits, do you want the sun card in the right side of position represent the fourth tarot card for this Taurus reading? Okay, so they want them like that, so that's cool. So then we'll go ahead and do the top and the bottom. Okay, and figure out where they want those after, but we'll come back to that to confirm. Let's switch to the other deck real quickly. We're just going to get 1 card from this one, but we still got to shuffle a bunch anyway. All right, so spirits, messages for Earth sign Taurus, the bull, for September 29th through October 29th. Spirits, guide my hands, messages. These cards are so big. I have to have them like even on each side or they won't. I can't hold them properly. Okay, spirits, guide my hands, messages for Sun, Taurus, the bull, for September 29th through October 29th, Taurus. Alright, spirits, guide my hands. Nope. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign, Taurus, the bull, for September 29th through October 29th. Alright. Oh my god, it's so funny. We got a repeating card. We'll talk about that later. Hold on. So we also take the top and the bottom. I love when I get repeating cards from 2 different decks because that's always spirit confirming stuff right there. But we'll get to that. Okay, hold on. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Taurus, the bull, for September 29th to October 29th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? 1 card only, please, spirits. Messages for Taurus for September 29th to October 29th. 1 card only, please, spirits. What do they need to see? All right. So now let's go ahead and confirm with spirit, where they want these cards. Let me make sure they want this one too, since we just pulled it out. Okay, so they want that one, so I'll leave that kind of over to the side. Okay, so let's see. I feel like it might be like this. And maybe these 2 over here. I don't know. Let me check. Hold on. Spirits and love and light, respect and reverence and advance before, during, and after. Thank you for all wisdom, guidance, and advice given, and thank you, of course, for listening. Spirits, you want me to talk about the Two of Cups in the right side up position and the Ten of Swords in the right side up position when I talk about the Two of Staves in the right side up position. Okay, so they want that there. Let's check on this one because I'm not sure that's where they want it. Let's double check. Okay, Spirits, you want the Eight of Pentacles in the right side of position and the Hanged Man in the right side of position. We talked about when I talk about the Sun card in the right side of position. Okay, they said no. All right, just kidding. I had a feeling it didn't want it there, but these are both good cards, so they could really go anywhere. But let's see, maybe they want them over here. Spirits, you want to talk about Eight of Pentacles in the right side of position and the Hanged Man in the right side of position. Oh, they said yes. Okay. I didn't expect it to be so fast, but awesome. Always makes it easier for me. So last thing we'll do is grab the letter charms real quickly when we get started. So we're going to do 6 charms. My hands, letter charm messages for Earth Sign Taurus, the Bull, for September 29th to October 29th. Messages for Taurus, Taurus for September 29th to October 29th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? Okay, so we're going to take more. I'm just remembering how they fell out. Sometimes it matters, but not really. But I like to be, at least accurate to how they fell out. Okay, or how they came out. 3 more messages for Taurus. Okay, that was fast. 2 more messages for Earth Sign Taurus, the Bull. Letter charms for Earth Sign Taurus, the Bull, for September 29th through October 29th. 1 more. All right, so let me just put them down here, and then we'll take the picture, and we'll get started. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. Okay. I think that's in focus. Yep. Right. Good enough. All right. So what time we're at now? We're at 51 minutes. Okay. So I'll make a note that is the time that we stopped the shuffling, and I'll add it to the timestamps for later. But yes, Taurus. Let's get into your reading here. 1 second. Let me get some more sip here. All right. So let's go ahead and call out your zodiac signs, which I kept forgetting to do in the last reading, but that's all right. I did one of them, I think. But let's see what you have, Taurus, okay? So you have Pisces energy twice, not your official card for Pisces, but you came out twice anyway. And you've got Leo energy, okay? Those are the energies we're picking up as far as the major arcana for other zodiac signs. So what does that mean, Taurus? It means you could be dealing with a Pisces or a Leo, or you have a lot of that heavily in your birth chart, or the other person does, or multiple people. It could also be referencing Pisces season that's coming up still, or it could be referencing the Leo season of this past year the year that we're in now. Excuse me, or last year, past Leo season, or upcoming Leo season, right? It could be a lot of different ways you can look at it, or it doesn't resonate at all as far as the zodiac signs, and that's okay too. But I just wanted to call them out ahead of time. Now, let's see, as far as your minor arcana, how many are the most prevalent? Okay, so you've got 1 pentacle, 2 cups, 1 sword, and 1 stave. or wand. Okay. So obviously it's the cups, right? Since you have two cups. So what does that mean? It could be another underlying theme to this reading, Taurus, is emotions, right? So somebody's emotions, everybody's emotions, whatever it is. Okay. But the cups in the tarot can talk about what makes me emotionally satisfied, fulfilled, happy, what are my emotional priorities, boundaries, that kind of thing, vice versa, the other person, the environment, etc. Okay, so we'll just kind of leave that off to the side. But let's go ahead and talk about your card, the placements that they're in for this reading. If people, some people may be new, right? And everything else. Okay. So we're talking about a 4-week time period, okay, essentially, right? So from September 29th through October 29th. So these first four cards on the top here are going to correspond to about a week's time period or so for some, since it is a general reading, right? And then we'll also talk about the top and the bottom from the other deck and from this deck as well, to give us more insight. And then we have your oracle card, your tarot confirmation card, and your letter charms at the end. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and call out your cards here, Taurus. So we start off with the High Priestess in the right side up position. We have the King of Cups right side up. We have the Two of Staves, also known as Two of Wands, right side up, and we have the Sun card in the right side up position. And you do have that repeating card that we'll talk about later. Okay. So let's start with your first card, of course. So Taurus, this can be from around September 29th through October 8th or so, right? And I'm filming this on the 29th, right? Is it 29th? Is it? Yes. And so we have that, it's a little bit of Pisces and Scorpio energy, but I went ahead and said Pisces because you have another card that represents Pisces, but it could be Scorpio energy as well. Okay, but the High Priestess is all about tuning inward, okay? Having your intuition lead you or guide the other person, right, Taurus, if it's not necessarily about you. But she's holding these scrolls, and the scrolls, I can't talk, the scrolls represent the knowledge of self, right? They also represent secrets or occult knowledge, but things that are not necessarily everybody's going to know, right? So if we're talking about our intuition and our emotions, maybe we're not going to tell everybody, right? So that energy is there, but it really kind of generally just talks about trusting our intuition, right? And trusting our inner guidance system. What's your first reaction? What's your gut reaction to when you first meet someone or you first go somewhere? That kind of energy here. And so we also have in that first week, let me make sure, as far as the astrology, it's either Pluto, yes, Pluto. So Pluto goes direct on October 8th, and that's kind of like I said September 29th through October 8th. If I mentioned Scorpio, right, Pluto would be the ruler of Scorpio. So that could be a little bit of that Scorpio energy that we're picking up, could be coinciding with the astrology, but it doesn't have to, okay? But this is beautiful energy regardless, right? I always talk about, or tend to try to remember to talk about, the High Priestess is similar to the Hermit in the tarot, right? So quieting down the outside noise so you can hear your intuition more clearly. Okay, but let's talk about what's underneath this card. This is where Spirit wanted me to talk to you about, energies that made it possible for this High Priestess to show up in this position, okay? And so these are past energies, whether they were a couple of days ago, months, years, etc., that kind of made it possible, again, for that High Priestess to show up. So what do we have? We have the Eight of Pentacles in the right side up position showed up on the top of your deck, and then the Hanged Man in the right side up position was on the bottom of your deck here. So it looks like here, Taurus, that in the past, in some way, there could have been a really busy or productive time period for you as far as your work or your money, but not necessarily, because when we're talking about pentacles, we're also talking about our values. So possibly because it's showing up in the right side up position again in the past, perhaps you were being evaluated correctly in the past in some way, again at work or in a relationship, or how much effort you're putting into something here. But you could also have been honing a skill or a craft in the past that was going to make you more valuable, or the other person, or the environment, or everybody, right? Because when we talk about pentacles and not just money and wealth, we're talking about values. Am I being valued enough? And because it was in the right side up position in the past, I would say yes, in some way there was definitely some valuable well, that's not what I meant to say. There was some value in what you were doing, or someone else was doing, or somebody was deemed as valuable. Okay. Now, on the other side in the past, with that hanged man in the right side up position, and both of these cards, if you saw me shuffling, I said that they were really positive, even though they're past, they were really positive. And so I was like, at first I thought they wanted them over here, and they were like, no. And then I just kind of started with the first one here, and they said that's where they wanted it, because these energies from the past, again, made it possible for that High Priestess to show up, which is also a positive card, right? A positive placement. Okay, so in the past, in some way here, Taurus, somebody was also open to looking at something from a different perspective, right? With the hanged man in the right side up position, they were open to not just looking from their viewpoint, but multiple people's viewpoints or different perspectives. Okay, and this made them more abundant, or made you more abundant. And abundance doesn't just mean money, right? It means whatever you want to manifest in your life. So these things, again, honing a craft or skill, being productive, knowing where you are valued, or not valued, but here being more valued, and being open to seeing things from a new perspective, made it possible for that High Priestess to show up in the right side up position. So supporting the intuition, the inner guidance system, all that. Okay, so that's really beautiful, right? And we're talking about, again, the end of September and the beginning of October. So it's looking really nice so far here, Taurus. But let's keep going. Then we go to your second week. We have the King of Cups in the right side up position. I said this could be around October 9th through October 15th or so. Okay. And this is your first cups card. Remember, we said you had two different ones, and could be an underlying theme, the cups in general to your reading. But here we see this king. Okay, he's very comfortable with the throne behind him. He's got his cup of wine or water or whatever right side up here. He's got a book in the other hand. So he knows what he needs to do. Okay, he's also very supported by his support system, and made it possible for him to be in this position of authority or leadership. When we talk about kings, and we talk about queens, or we talk about tens in the tarot, we're talking about can be endings and new beginnings, or leveling up in one area of your life or multiple areas of your life. But whatever this is, we would say, because it's the Cups card, that it's emotionally satisfying and fulfilling in some way here. Okay, and again, that could be around the second week or so we're talking about here, Taurus. Okay. But let's keep going, okay? Because, yeah, I think so far, I can't remember, because it's been a few days since I did the last couple of zodiac readings before you. You don't have any energetic blockages, really, at all in this 4-week time period, as far as what's on the top row, right? So these are the future, current, possibilities, probabilities. Okay. So that's interesting, right? Good for you, Taurus. Okay. So yeah, let's keep going though. So, I would say on that note, your third week or third card isn't an energetic blockage, but it's a little bit slower than the other energies, right? So that's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay. And when we talk about the third card, third week, we said it could be from around October 16th through the 22nd. I think October 23rd, Saturn goes direct. What else is during that week that could cause a little bit of a slowdown? And okay, October 16th through the 22nd. Yeah, Saturn goes direct on the 23rd. 23rd is also when we enter Scorpio season. And Juno also goes direct on the 23rd. Okay, so the 23rd is like a big day, right, for the astrology wise. But some people feel it a little bit before, a little bit after, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be on that day. But Saturn is about our responsibilities, our moral obligations, our getting serious with something, right? Saturn energy. Juno is talking about partnerships, whether they're romantic partnerships or platonic with friends and family, but also commitments, again, in one of all those areas, and partnerships and marriage. Okay, so when Juno goes direct and Saturn goes direct, once the planet stops going retrograde, it completely stops, and then it starts going forward again instead of backwards. It can take a little bit of time to pick up pace. So that's why I was saying, even though you don't have any energetic blockages here, Taurus, in your first 4 cards, 4 weeks, this is the one that would be like a little bit slower. So it could have something to do with astrology and not necessarily you, or it's both. Who knows, right? It is a general reading. But you're like, okay, go ahead and show me the 3rd card. All right, so here you have the 2 of staves or 2 of wands in the right side up position. All right, so we see the back of this Egyptian woman's head. She's looking out at the Nile River, right? So this is like the people watching card or the research card, right? So she's watching these ships on the Nile River, and she's asking herself, have they been in a similar situation that I find myself in? Or what can I learn from them? Or what advice can I get from them, right? So it's again a slowing down of energy. She's not doing anything, but I mean, she is doing something, but not necessarily in the physical body, right? So she's again looking at the water, which in the tarot is our emotions, and she's saying to herself, have those people experience something similar to me? Can I learn something from them? Can I get advice from them? But it's also kind of similar to your first card, the first week, the High Priestess energy of trusting the emotions and the intuition before making a new, or not even new necessarily, before making physical action, or before making a decision, even if it's not a new decision. Okay. So let's kind of see what led up to this, because this is where my spirit guides wanted me to talk to you about what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck, along with this 3rd card, 3rd week. Okay, so again, this is past energy. Could be a couple days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. Right? But what we have is the 2 of Cups in the right side up position showed up on the top of your deck, and the 10 of Swords in the right side up position on the bottom of your deck. And we're talking about it with this 2 of Staves. Okay, so these 2 past energies cards made it possible for this one to come out. Okay, so because we are talking about Juno, right, going direct during this 3rd week, and we were talking about marriage, partnerships, commitments, and what do we see here? These 2 people. But again, it isn't always romantic the way the card is shown. It's talking about 2 people, 2 vibrations, 2 corporations, whatever it is. They are giving each other the same amount of effort. They bring out the best in each other. This is about a higher vibrational love or frequency or vibration, right? So again, whether it's work-related partnerships or platonic partnerships with friends and family, or romantic, or even different parts of yourself, if we're talking about self-love coming together, right? In the past, in some way, because this is past energy. Oops, it was like this. This is past energy that made it possible, again, for this one to come out, right? So I feel like here, Taurus, there could have been something going on in the past that, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it, because it will be different for everybody a little bit. this partnership, this commitment, this marriage, whatever it was, it seemed like it was really good on one side, and then on the other side, it drained the hell out of somebody. There was a lot of anxiety, worry, overthinking, or just straight up mental exhaustion, right? Because the swords from this samurai guy over here are going into the body of this person lying down. So that, again, the swords in the tarot are our logical mind, our crown chakra. When they're going down, they're not in balance, okay? They're too far up in the mind. There's too much head, air energy, okay? So it could be here, Taurus, because Spirit wanted me to talk to you about it with that card in the third week when Juno goes direct. The reason, it could be why the reason this woman here now in the future, current, present possibilities is really taking the time to tap into her emotions, to do the people watching, to do the research, is perhaps because, and when we say woman, it's just what's showing up in the card. You can be a man, right? You can be gay or non-binary or whatever, right? We're just talking about what's in the card is the reason why she is, right, doing the research, the people watching, slowing down, trusting her emotions, is because maybe in some way here she doesn't want this to happen again, where on one side things were really good, and then on the other there was so much anxiety, worry, overthinking, or mental exhaustion. I don't know why that was there, but it's past, okay? So we don't need to spend too much time there. It could also be that when we talk about the cups, right, we said it's an underlying theme to your reading too, that we're talking about emotions, intuition with the High Priestess. It could be that somebody's emotions in the past were overwhelming someone on one side, or they were putting too much faith in. It just feels very split to me. It's like one or the other, right? It's like 10 of cups or 10 of swords. It's like the heart or the mind, like where the mind is not balanced, or the heart is not balanced with the mind. It just seems like in the past, in some way here, Taurus, somebody or something or some environment wasn't balanced. Okay, so it will be different for everybody, but let's keep going, otherwise stay there forever. Okay, so again, that's past, however it went down. You know, we're talking about the present. So so then we go from your third card, your third week, to now the fourth week, which we said could be around October 23rd through October 29th or so, right? It's a guesstimation or estimate. And now we have the Sun card, okay? So we go from a slowdown period a little bit here with the Two of Staves or Two of Wands to now the Sun card, right? So Leo energy here. And the Sun is the brightest card in the tarot deck. So it represents youthful energy, creativity, passion, right? But also spiritual enlightenment, downloads, revelations. Oh, now I finally understand something. Okay. So this is really beautiful. And this could be showing up here for you, Taurus, again, towards the end of October, even into maybe, let's say, the first week of November, right? Excuse me, one second. But this is one of your repeating cards that I want to show you. All right. So, Taurus, your last card, tarot card, as far as the tarot part, we have over here is your confirmation tarot. So it's coming in here and confirming all 4 weeks that we kind of just talked about. And so look at this. They're both in the right side up position. This is your repeating card. This is how they draw them or depict them in 2 different decks here, okay? And so this is great confirmation, right? This is when Spirit comes in, and if you guys saw me shuffle, right, I did not pick these cards like to make them come out this way. So there's usually 72 cards or so in these 2 different decks I'm using. So that's 1 and 72 chances that it will come out again in the same position. Now, when we're talking about the tarot confirmation card, it is not only is it confirming all 4 cards, all 4 weeks, it's also talking about it being a combination of past and future, right? So it's like if you want to, Taurus, continue on this way, right? And this is a really good reading. Like I said, I don't think any of the other zodiac signs so far have had such a good reading. That you need to embrace this creativity, this passion, this fiery energy, right? Maybe look where you have Leo in your chart if you wanted to, but not necessarily because it's not the official Leo card, right? But it definitely has some Leo energy there. But yeah, just find out what makes you, or if you probably already know or reconfirm, find out what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled, right? What makes you passionate, what makes you feel young again, or just have this new spirit around something that helps you keep moving forward. Okay, so you can have more abundance in your life, whatever that is, and also have spiritual downloads and revelations and understand things a little better. Okay, but this is beautiful here, Taurus. I love to see it for you. But real quickly before you go, we also have your little oracle card and your little leather charms. Okay, so the oracle card for this time period, even beyond, this is from the Rebecca Campbell deck. Okay, I think it's a Starseed Oracle. But the card that you got, and it's kind of interesting because it has a pyramid in it, which we also saw at the bottom of this sun card. If you guys can see it, there's a little Egyptian pyramid down here. Okay, so there's another pyramid in this card, but this one says no, and it says wait, postpone, pause, or say no. Okay, so sometimes with this deck, it isn't always a little cute saying or this or that. If there was a question that you had for this time period, on one hand, it's kind of saying no, right? Can you guys see that pyramid? I mean, it's pretty big, right? In the background here. So the sun card by itself would be a yes, and then this one's saying no. But if we put it really together with that slowdown period, the 3rd week, where we had Pluto going direct and Juno going direct, right, with that 2 of staves or 2 of wands, maybe it's saying no here, or not necessarily just saying no. It also says wait, postpone, pause. Okay, she's doing the pause, right? Remember the slowdown energy? So it doesn't necessarily have to be, oh my God, no. It could just be, again, a slowdown. All right, so let's keep going now. Let's do your little charms. So these letter charms, the alphabet charms that I got, it could be somebody's initials. It could be an acronym. It could be spelling something that you recognize during this time period, something you keep seeing. It could be lots of different things. But let's go ahead. Let me show you the ones that came out here for you, Taurus. Now, sometimes they will on their own spell a word, but this one so far, I don't see it yet. Oh, wait, I do see one word. Okay. I see the word rug. Okay. R-U-G. We also have X, and we have QB. So rug, bug, B-U-G. Nope, and nope. Okay, rug and a bug. That's kind of funny. Rug and a bug makes me think of that English children's song. Oh, sorry. Hey, Cleo. No. Guys, be quiet. You can stay out there then. That rug and a bug children's song, like if you're cozy, getting cozy and you're putting the children to sleep, right? They're supposed to be really cozy, like a bug in a rug or something stupid like that. I can't remember exactly, or maybe that's just my interpretation of the song. I can't remember, but I know it's something to do with like children's song. So maybe that has some meaning here for somebody. Because again, I said like all 4 cards or 4 weeks were really positive. So maybe you will be really comfortable, like a rug and a bug and a rug, something like that. So those are the only two words I see. But let me go ahead and show you the rest of um, the letter charms, and it will be in the photo that I post after the live too. So the first two we got were U and G. Okay, and you can switch them around however you want. The second two, I believe, was R and X. And the last two, I believe, were Q and B. Okay. So again, these could be initials. They could be acronyms of something that doesn't necessarily stick out to me right now, but may stick out to you. Or it's just something that you see during this time period. Okay. And maybe it doesn't necessarily make sense right now, but if you look at the photo later, maybe it'll make more sense to you then. So I'm always curious to hear from you guys in the comments down below, how things may play out for you. So that is your reading, dear Taurus, and I hope you got something from it. And if you haven't yet and you want to subscribe, it's free. All you have to do, of course, is already have a YouTube account with your email address. And if you subscribe and click on that little subscribe button, it just notifies you when I put out new readings. Another great free way to support the channel is to like the video. Not only does it tell me that you like it, it tells YouTube and it shares it more with others. I believe in the first couple of hours the video is posted, the more likes it gets, the more it shares with people. So if that's something you feel like you want to do, then feel free, but you don't have to, of course. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then we'll be back with Gemini and Cancer. All right. So you guys take care, and I will see you later. All right. Bye.